Today's class is another Ganesh class. Hello and welcome to episode 125 of Namaste Yoga. Today we are doing another Ganesh class. In this class we are going to be doing a class called Ganesh Teaches Us About Discernment. My Kindle kind of behaved uncooperatively on the way over here, so I'm doing my whole class off my iPhone today. How privileged is that, right? My Kindle crapped out, so I'm going to teach off my iPod today. Gosh, life is good. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to our sponsor, Squeezed Yoga, for our awesome clothing. I have my Ganesh top on and my Squeezed Yoga leggings on today. So thank you so much for those. You can check them out at squeeze.ca. Thank you so much for your donations. You can make donations at www.melissawest.com. And when you're there, sign up to receive our newsletter. When you do so, you'll receive a free morning and evening yoga sequence, and stay on our newsletter because from time to time I do send out free gifts, little gifts. A few weeks ago I sent out a video sequence for people with yoga, a little yoga for sciatica sequence, so I do like to send out gifts, so stay on our mailing list. Also, to let you know about our membership site, you can sign up for that at melissawest.com as well. We still have our special pricing of $69.95 a year, or if you prefer, you can sign up monthly at $6.95 a month. We are going to be uploading new content probably just later today. I'm going to be putting up a mindful eating workshop that's all ready to go, and the Happy Hips video. Just want to let you know that we now have 6 videos, 6 of my old DVDs on the membership site now, in addition to a whole ton of other content. But just the videos alone from my DVD library, that's a $90 value. So if you signed up for the $69.95 a year price, you're getting a $90 value in just those DVDs alone that are now digital download videos on the membership site. Not even talking about all the other content that's there, the mindful eating workshop, all the lectures, the forum, the 2 retreats that we've done on there. So it's incredible value for your money there. Also, to let you know that I'm going to be in Ireland from May 18th to the 20th for Ireland's first yoga festival. So if you're going to be anywhere in and around the UK, I'd love for you to come and meet me there. And please like us on Facebook at Your Namaste Yoga. So I wanted to share with you a testimonial this week in response to last week's very special show in memory of Valerie's brother Benjamin. Andrea wrote, "How is it possible that your messages are always spot on for me and what I'm needing or going through on any given day? I usually watch what happens at night, but I happened to click on this link this morning because of the dedication. And lo and behold, there's the poem. I lost my mom on November 30th, 2010, and am still trying to pick myself back up from the loss. Your videos are helping me do that. Every time I watch, it's clear that this is the right place for me to be, and I thank you." So I thank you very much too, Andrea. Thank you for sending that testimonial. That one came off the Facebook page, so thank you. So this week we have a very special happy birthday dedication from Gary to Elisa, and he wants to Elisa to know that you have changed his world And Gary and Elisa are fabulous Namaste yogis from the Midwest who practice yoga together and eat vegetarian food together. And I've just loved getting to know them. And I want to wish Elisa a fabulous happy 40th birthday. And so happy 40th birthday, Elisa. And this Namaste Yoga is dedicated to your birthday. So happy birthday. And today you're going to need some props. And I remembered to tell you, so yay for me. You're going to need, if you have it, if you don't, no big deal. You have it, a bolster. And you're going to need 2 blocks. Again, if you don't have it, no big deal. Okay? So. Oh, and a wall. We're going to start with a wall. I'm getting to that. Okay. So in today's episode of Namaste Yoga, Ganesh teaches us about discernment and perspective. So we will be starting with legs up the wall with sleeping eagle's arms to receive the story today. And eagles have this incredible ability to soar at great heights and have incredibly great perspective. And so that's why we're going to be starting with that. So let me demonstrate for you how we're going to be starting to receive the story today. Okay? So this is what you're going to be doing to receive the story. Legs up the wall. So here's the trick to getting in nice and close for legs up the wall. You're going to put your hips right up against the wall. Right up against the wall. Knees bent like that. And then you're going to swing your legs around. And bring your legs up the wall. And then that's it. Okay, so for sleeping eagle's arms, you can choose which way you want to do this. It feels like I want to hook my right arm underneath my left arm. And then, so then your right palm sits underneath your left palm. And then your right palm rests on your forehead. So that's how sleeping eagle's arms work. If your elbows and stuff don't do that easily because of tightness in your shoulders or whatever, you can always just do palm over palm like this. The point is, it's called sleeping eagle, so it should be restful. So whatever way that works for you in your body, whatever way feels good. If you feel like switching halfway through the story, you can go ahead and do that. You might want to try both sides and feel which side feels best for you right now as well. So that's the position that you're going to be in to receive the story. Okay? And I'm going to sit up to deliver the story. Sage Vyasa was meditating in the Himalayas. Lord Brahma, the god of creation, appeared before him and asked him to write the Mahabharatam, which is not the Mahabharata, that's another story, for the benefit of all. Sage Vyasa said that he could not compose the verse and write it down too, and therefore asked for the help of someone wise who would write it down as he sang. Brahma asked Sage Vyasa to pray to Lord Ganesha to help him. Ganesha told Vyasa that he had enormous work to do, and hence he would write it down only if Vyasa was quick in singing it. For his turn, Sage Vyasa requested that Ganesha should understand the meaning of the verse and only then put it down in writing. Vyasa started singing. Whenever he felt Ganesha was writing too fast for him, he would come with a difficult verse. Thus, by the time Ganesha could decipher the meaning, he would have composed several more verses in his mind. Lord Ganesha wrote on Mount Meru using his tusk. Sage Vyasa is supposed to have sung 8,800 verses, which were difficult for Ganesha to decipher. He has himself stated that Ganesha, sage Vyasa himself, and his Sagun are probably the only ones who know the meaning of those 8,800 verses. Only the remaining one verse is the one assumed to be on the earth. The Mahabharatam is considered to be the fifth Veda. So it's kind of like the Bible, how there are the books of the Bible, and there are the ones that are the standard version of the Bible, and then there are some Gospels that are not as well known. The Mahabharatam is considered the fifth Veda. There are 4 Vedas that are considered the standard Vedas. This is the fifth one, not as well known. So what should we take away from this story? Even the great and wise Ganesh showed incredible discernment. He didn't trouble us with tons of esoteric knowledge. He distilled the knowledge down to one piece to be taken away. This is what the eagle does by soaring high in the sky. He backs up to gain perspective. We can do this in our lives too. We can back away from a situation to gain perspective. We can also turn inwards in meditation, into ourselves, to find our own internal answers, blocking out all the noise of the world for perspective. Sometimes we need to zoom out, and sometimes we need to zoom in, and then we can see the entire universe is waiting inside of us. We will practice working with perspective in our class today. So take a moment to set your intention for your class today, for your practice. How would you like to work with perspective? Do you want to zoom out on your life? Do you want to zoom in on your life? What's your intention? Okay, and then once you've started to wiggle and stretch out, once you've formed your intention, you can wiggle and stretch out. We're going to stay with legs at the wall. This is a great way. I love working with the wall as a great way for warming up and starting your practice. You can actually do knees to chest as a way to start your practice. So leave your left leg up the wall and slide your right leg down the wall. And you can place your right foot right on the wall and do knees to chest there. You don't even really need to place your hand over your top of your right leg. You can, but the wall kind of does it for you. And focus on your breathing. Let the back of your neck be long. Let your head be heavy on the ground, space between your teeth. Chin and forehead on the same level here. And let your chest be open and your shoulders fall towards the ground here. So books and books and books could have been channeled through that session, but Ganesh chose to only translate one book to us. And I think this is wise. And, we can spend our whole lives seeking after knowledge, and truly we need to back off sometimes and zoom out, and we can find the true knowledge within ourselves. We don't need to be seeking knowledge all the time. So Ganesh teaches us the power of discernment through the story. Okay, let's switch sides. So now your right leg is going to come up, and you can slide your left leg down the wall. Keep your left foot against the wall. So left knee comes into your chest. And follow your breath. Find the back of your leg against the wall, your right leg against the wall. And then you can switch and take your left leg straight up again. And now you're going to bend both your legs, place your feet flat against the wall. And we're going to do keyhole stretch, or figure four stretch. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Now you might be quite surprised how little you need to bend your left leg to get some action happening in your right hip here. I'm at my edge already. You might be able to bend your left leg more, but for me, there's lots going on here already. There's something about using resistance here that makes a lot more happen in your hip. So we're going to be working with eagle's pose. Kind of funny, my intention is to release your hips so that we can work with eagle's pose. We're actually not going to be doing eagle's legs, but oh well, we'll still open up the hips as if we were. Maybe we will. Okay, and then you can release your right ankle. And then cross your left ankle over the top of your right leg. And open your left knee. And you might be able to bend that side a little more. Left hip. And you can breathe through that tightness in your hips. Okay, great. And then for something else that we will be doing later, standing, bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees towards the wall. Now you can use your hands here to help open your knees towards the wall, but do pay attention to the insides of your knee joints. I want you to feel the stretch in the belly of your muscles, not in your joints. You never want to feel things in your joints. You always want to feel things in the belly of your muscle in hatha yoga. So you can work with creating resistance here. Feeling it in your groin, in the belly of your inner thigh muscles, but not in your knee joints. Okay, great. And then I was going to do one other thing here, but I think we're going to leave it now because we're going to do it later. But let me just show you, because it's a great thing you can do against the wall. You can do your twists against the wall. So just so you know to try it later. Okay? Using the wall for twists is a great thing. Okay? We'll do it later. Maybe we'll come back to the wall to do it later. Okay? So that's all we're going to do now. You can roll to your side, and if you're in a tight spot against the wall, you can move your mat away from the wall. Okay, once you've moved your mat away from the wall, then you're going to get your bolster if you have one. If you don't, that's okay. You can do this pose without the bolster. That's fine too. And you're going to come onto all fours. Slide your right knee forward to your right wrist. Bring your right heel over to your left hip bone. Reach your left leg back and long. And then if you have your bolster, you can place it right in this space here. And you can fold forward over it. And you can rest on it. And if you don't, you have to work a little harder. And you're just going to lie on the ground instead. But if you do, you can use the support of the bolster. See, bolsters are a great prop if you have them. So, supported pigeon pose. And then go ahead and let's switch sides. So push yourself up. Oh, you're gonna just have a nice stretch, different perspective here. Upright pigeon. before I come back, and we'll switch to the other side. So if you've got your bolster, you'll just want to roll it over to your other side. Slide your left leg forward and your left heel across to your other hip bone. And then fold forward over your bolster or onto the ground and over your bolster. So notice any tendency that you might want to have to rush out of this pose, just like Ganesh might have had to want to rush through writing down the verses because he was busy and he had other things to do. I thought that was so adorable about that story. And breathe through it and stay. Okay, and then you can find your way out of this pose. And then a good counter pose for this would be down dog. And so I'm going to let you take down dog on your own, downward facing dog. And then I'm going to meet you up at standing, okay? So find your way up to standing after down dog. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your down dog to come up to standing. Nice little inversion there. From standing, we're going to work with eagle's arms a bit in Goddess Victory Squat. We're going to work with eagle's arms in a few different standing postures today just to change it up a little different perspectives. See, change it up. You know, when we do these standing postures in different arms, it reminds me of those books that the kids have, you know, with the 3 slots with the characters where you can change their bodies and their heads and everything. That's what I always think of it like. So just do that with your yoga postures. It's fun, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is take your feet wide. Not too wide because we're going to be moving a bit and like I want you to be able to balance. So don't make it too crazy here. Turn your toes out and then squat down and pull your knees back for this, okay? Okay, I'm going to take my own advice and not do too crazy here. Okay, here we go. Now, you're going to take your right arm up and hook your left arm underneath it. The Goddess Victory Squat with eagle's arms. And you're going to inhale, come up. And exhale, come down. And inhale up. Exhale down. Keep pulling your knees back on your Goddess Victory Squat legs. On the outside edges of your feet on your legs. You want me to turn sideways on my... like a clown now. Okay, and then what I thought we would do is also kind of side bend the whole thing like a beautiful willow tree. Okay. Now that feels very goddess-like to me. So beautiful goddess like Alisa for her beautiful 40th birthday, stepping into her goddess years. And birthdays can be a great time to zoom out or zoom in, take perspective on your life, step back, take a look at your life, look back and look forward. Okay, so release your arms, and I knew the thing that was going to be challenging about that was legs, because we got to do both arms. So let's stick out your legs a bit, and then let's do those legs again. So step your feet wide, not crazy wide. Turn your toes out, and do a gentle plie squat. So this time you're going to have your left arm up. You're going to hook your right arm underneath. Great, and we did the inhale up and exhale down. Keep pulling your knees back in your legs. Find the outside edges of your feet. Do you guys like my hematite bracelet? I usually take it off for my shoots, but it's my peace black bracelet here. They're supposed to be really good for migraines. I wear it all the time now. I find it does actually help me. Okay, and then side bending. When I bought it in the store, I was like, where are the hematite bracelets? And the lady says, they're over there in that little container. And so I stuck my hand in the container. I, of course, had a migraine at the time. Because that's not uncommon for me these days. But this was the first one I pulled out. I was like, great, good, cute, peace sign, love it. Usually wear one on my ankle too. Good. So there we go. Just came out of the crystal closet. Okay, great. Release. This is a great stone for Vadas, because Vadas are very flighty, fly away. It's good, keeps them grounded. Okay. All right. So now we're going to stand at the front of the mat. We're going to do another eagle arms variation, right? So this is good. Change perspective, different ways of looking at things. Zoom out, zoom in. That's our theme for today. So stand at the front of your mat. You're going to take a big step back with your left foot to start. So turn your hips towards the front of your mat. And you're going to bring your arms up. Let's take your right arm, left arm, let's do. Bring your right arm underneath. Do warrior one arms, and we'll lift them up and lift your chest up. Keep your chin tucked. Okay, so a little different perspective here. And I chose eagle today. I think eagle is a great choice because they have this ability to soar above, and they have this ability to see a really wide perspective. you could fold forward here too. And let that go. Oh, how about getting into those shoulder joints there? Nice. Let that out of your body. Do the Raggedy Ann. And then come up to the front of your mat. And let's do that whole posture on the other side. Take a big step back with your right foot. Sink down through your front left sit bone. Bring your right arm up. Hook your left arm underneath. Maybe your arms come together, maybe they don't. And you know, if this is really hard for you to access, here's a really nice alternative. Just palms together like that. That works fine. Okay? Tuck your tailbone under. Lift your chest. Reach your elbows up. So kind of like peaceful warrior. Kind of. With eagle's arms. Breathe. Okay, and then let go of your eagle's wings. And let your posture out of your body. Okay, so I had this really cool intuitive drawing done yesterday, and part of the intuitive drawing had this picture of a bear in a tree, and they say that bears actually climb trees to get a better perspective, and it was like, oh, how cool, we can use that in the class tomorrow. And so, of course, there's no bear pose in yoga, so we can do tree pose. So we're going to do tree pose with Garuda Mudra. Garuda is eagle. So that's what we're going to do. But you can think of the bear kind of in the tree. That's where I was thinking of this from. So I'm coming off as kind of flaky in this podcast, aren't I? A little bit. Just a little. But you'll still love me. That's okay. All right, so Garuda Mudra, the way the Garuda Mudra works is you just cross your hands and you hook your thumbs. And then tree pose, I'm going to give you a few options for that. Let's stand on your right foot first and turn your left toes out. And you could keep either your left toes on the ground, which I think I'm going to do today. Or you can pick up your foot, place it on the inside of your calf, either below your knee or above your knee. The higher you come up your leg, the harder it is for you to balance. Okay, so choose the place where it's easiest for you. And then you could either have your Garuda Mudra at your heart center, or you can take it all the way overhead. And so, again, the higher up your mudra goes, the more challenging it's going to be for you to balance. So choose which works best for you. So you could climb a tree to change your perspective. And you know, my daughter spends a lot of time climbing a tree out front of my friend Lisa's house, and her son and my daughter climb the tree all the time. And as adults, it might be kind of fun to go out and climb a tree, and it would give you a different perspective, a childlike perspective, and that might not be a bad idea for something for you to do, to change it up a little bit, have a little fun. I think on my Blip TV page, there's that picture of the tree that goes like this. Still, is that one still there? What's the name of that domain? bliptv.namaste or something like that? Okay, maybe we'll put a link to it. Anyway, there used to be this tree down by Lake Ontario that we used to film by. We took a whole bunch of pictures on it one day. It was really wide and you could climb up on it. It was really high off the ground too. And we did all these yoga posture pictures on it one day. It was pretty terrifying too because it was so high off the ground. But it was really fun to go up there and do yoga postures on. But unfortunately they chopped it down last year because it was starting to rot, and I think they were also afraid of kids like me and other kids climbing on it too and falling off it. Okay, let's do the other side. You're going to stand on your left foot, turn your right toes out, and you can choose where you're going to put your left foot on your leg, or keep your toes on the ground, and then set up your Garuda Mudra. Hook your thumbs either at your heart center or at your throat center. You could choose if there's a chakra you want it to enliven. Your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye. I'm thinking about chakras again, thinking about doing a little series of them. Lifting up, maybe overhead. See if it feels right in your body. Maybe try your tree pose differently this time. If you balanced last time, try not balancing this time. Okay, and then go ahead and release this posture from your body, and we're going to come back down to your mat. Okay, so here you're going to need 2 blocks if you have them, or you could use a bolster if you don't have blocks. You are going to place 1 block up like this. If you don't have the big thick blocks like this, just be careful because they tend to be a little more wobbly. 1 block down like this, and you're going to rest back over them. Okay? So this allows you to open up your heart center. Oh, this should be mandatory for counter pose for life. Okay, so if you have the blocks, you're just going to go ahead and stay here. If you don't, let me give you some options for those of you who don't have blocks. Okay, if you don't have any props, you can go ahead and do fish pose. So you're going to tuck your hands underneath your legs. Press into your forehead, into your forearms, not your forehead, and go ahead and rest on the top of your head. Okay? And if you had the bolster, but not the blocks, then you could rest over the bolster like this. Okay, so if you have the props, like the bolster or the blocks, what I'm going to suggest you do here is pause the video and stay resting over the bolster or the blocks for 5 minutes here, okay? And so for the people that don't have the props, we're going to continue on, okay? Okay, so go ahead to come off your props or out of your posture, tuck your chin, and move your props out of the way or come off out of your posture, and bend your knees and draw your knees into your chest. And then let's do a recline twist just to release the muscles in your back from the back bend. And recline twist on the other side. Okay, and then come back up. Roll all the way to your side. Okay, come up to seated. It feels like I have a cord wrapped around me, but I don't. All right, and we're going to finish with sitting with a mudra. And this is a mudra of deep insight. So the way that this mudra works is you cross your hands one over top of each other, and then you cross your thumbs. Okay. It's a mudra of deep insight. So it's a matter of zooming in. So this is the perspective of dropping inward. And then you bring that in front of your chest. Okay. And we will sit with this mudra for 5 minutes. can stay with this mudra for as long as you wish in seated meditation. It's time for me to wrap up. So I'm going to wiggle and stretch out. Be sure to take a good 5 to 10 minutes to rest back in Shavasana to integrate your practice. Thank you for joining us for episode 125 of Namaste Yoga. Happy birthday, Alyssa. And we will see you next week. Namaste.